Există sau nu OZN-ul?
Era inevitabil.
Atunci nu putea să răspundă. Acum puteți.
V-a pus un OZN interdicție la discuții? Spunea cineva că n-aveți voie să vorbiți.
Acum 25 de ani amintiți-vă că n-aveați cum să răspundeți.
Da, într-un fel aveam cum să răspund. Personal n-am întâlnit niciun OZN-ul. Dar am prieteni buni în aviația militară care au întâlnit în activitatea lor fenomene deosebite care doar prin fenomenul OZN pot fi explicate. Corpuri care au traversat aerodromuri militare, bâzind, zumzăind, hipnotizând. Am fost bun prieten cu Doru Davidovici, care a scris Cartea Lumi Galactice, la care eu i-am făcut prefața. Și care pledează pentru o lume paralelă cu lumea în care trăim. Deci lucrurile sunt mult mai complexe în lumea aceasta decât le înțelegem noi acum. Ar putea să existe lumi paralele cu noi, ar putea să existe ființe venite din alte zone ale Universului, mult mai dezvoltate intelectual, cu altă figură fizică, exterioară decât noi. Am putea să fim studiați de sute de ani, poate mii de ani de la distanță. Există posibilitatea să fie avut interferențe directe pe Pământ cu alte generații mai vechi de locuitori ai altor zone din univers. Sau de ce să nu ne gândim că am putea fi chiar sămânța unei alte civilizații care a aruncat-o pe Pământ, s-a combinat cu ce a existat aici pe Pământ, s-a adaptat condițiilor de viață de pe Pământ, cu oxigen, cu azot, cu pământ, cu apă, și i-a adus inteligența care ne-a adus aici unde suntem acum. Deci aceasta este părerea mea strict personală.
Mulțumim frumos pentru întrebări și a venit momentul mult așteptat.
We have now NASA connection. Ravi Prakash, landing, descent and we have images. Launching, descent and landing engineer. It's here with us. We have speakers. In the middle, Dumitru Prunariu, astronaut. In the left is Alexandru Mironov, science writer and journalist. And in the right, you'll have Sorin, Repanovici, program coordinator.
Please tell us what is the best position to be in front of Ravi.
It's here.
Ravi, can you hear us?
So, we need to have a seat and after drop it.
Okay. Let's see if we have sound. Okay. Ravi, sorry. Yes, we can hear you.
Great. Hey, good morning, Pasadena.
Good evening.
Good evening in Capitava. So, welcome back, Ravi. Sorin Repanovici speaking. As I promised, we have a pleasure to have here on the island a special guest. It's our Romanian astronauts who accept our invitation to be live with you, which means Romanian astronauts live with NASA for I hope that half an hour to discuss on one of the most issues of the week.
First of all, congratulations, and I'll let now speak Dumitru Prunariu, one of the 524 people having gone in the orbit around the Earth.
Oh, hello, Ravi. I'm Dumitru Prunariu, Dumitru Dorin Prunariu, the 103rd astronaut of the world. I'm very glad to be in contact with you now. And we are very curious about the curiosity and the accomplishments of the United States with this wonderful, outstanding program.
Great, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Just the screen is behind us, so sometimes we look, we look behind to see you, not in front of the camera. Okay. Just tell us a few things about the accomplishments of this program comparing with other Mars programs.
This time it was quite a bit harder. The previous rovers we landed on Mars, they were much smaller. So the first rover we landed on Mars, from the Pathfinder mission, It was about the size of the wheel of the Curiosity rover. The next two rovers we landed on Mars, Spirit and Opportunity, they were about the size of a small coffee table. This rover was the size of a car. It was about 900 kilograms, 5 times as massive as Spirit and Opportunity. So quite a bit bigger. It was much more of a challenge. We had to put it in a much smaller landing area than any of the previous rovers.
What do you expect to get, Ravi? Which are your expectations now?
So we expect to do some really great science. So the first rover on Mars carried just a few kilograms of science instruments. Spirit and Opportunity carried maybe 10 or so kilograms of science instruments. We have over 100 kilograms of science instruments. We can do a lot more science than previous rovers. And we expect to further the search for understanding if Mars could support life, or could in the past, or could in the future.
Will you bet for such a future that one day from here, from the island, into 100 years, we shall just jump out in space and go to Mars?
That would be great. We definitely would like to send humans to Mars also. That does seem a bit more in the future. We have to develop technology still to land humans on Mars. Even landing Curiosity was a giant leap in technology for rovers. But human-scale missions would require much more massive payloads, much larger payloads. And so it's definitely tougher to land humans on Mars.
Are you satisfied with the quality of the photographs you have already got?
We are excited. We sent first a lot of low-resolution pictures because it's much faster to send those pictures at first. And that's already told us a lot about how the landing went. We have a picture of the spacecraft coming down on a parachute. We have a picture of sort of a video almost of our heat shield falling off of the spacecraft after we were done using it. So we're really excited already about the pictures we've gotten from Mars.
Mars Express showed us some garbage that have been thrown by the event. Well, some but the parachute and all the others.
Yeah, I haven't seen any data yet from the Mars Express orbiter, although I know it's there somewhere. The data I have seen is from the other two orbiters, Odyssey and the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and we're excited to see what Mars Express has given us also.
So actually, Ravi, in my personal opinion, Mars was maybe 1-2 million years ago a living planet. It's my supposition. And the landscape it has, the rivers without water, everything shows that Mars was completely different many years ago. What do you think as a scientist, just having the few information we have now about Mars, about such things, about the possible former life on Mars, not only the future Mars, but former life?
The great thing about us going to Gale Crater, the landing site that Curiosity landed at, is that because it's such a deep crater, it tells us the history of Mars. So we landed at the bottom, we're going to drive up the wall, and we get to understand the history of Mars over time. So while it's hard to say much about what Mars might have been like right now, we hope to be able to say a lot more in the future about what it was like in the past.
Ravi, I'm a science journalist, and I was 2 weeks ago in Dublin at the ESOF, European Science Open Forum, where the Charles Bolden Jr., your administrator, came and had a very nice show, a beautiful show. He said, in 2030 we shall send a team to Mars. He said, more than that, I shall have my granddaughter in the team.
I think it's very nice that we are dreaming big, that the politicians will have to put up the money to do this mission if they're serious about it. Sending humans to Mars is very costly, and in this economy, it's hard to spend that much money on space. Even though people like us understand the benefits of it, convincing the general public is a challenge. That spending that much money on space is worthwhile for them. So the first challenge is exactly what we're doing right now, which is getting out to the public why this is important, how this affects them.
So Ravi, actually, I think we have to send to Mars an international team. So just international cooperation could bring enough money to build a very serious program, a long-term program, a human program, a manned program to Mars. And 1931 is the first big opportunity to send people on Mars. Okay, there where you work, there are peoples from many, many nations coming together, being very wise, being good scientists, and working together for an outstanding program, as you are. How many nations are working there? Just for fun, it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know how many nations, how many nationalities of people are here, but it's very, very diverse. We have people from all over the world working at JPL. We have many South Americans, many Asians, many Europeans. Definitely a very diverse group, and that definitely helps us to succeed. Having a diverse set of thoughts. Being able to, it helps to increase the amount of things we can think about. It helps to be unique also.
Ravi, I think you are doing a very good job in showing to the people of the Earth what's happening now on Mars. You know, this friend of mine near me, if it is to offer him only a one-way ticket to Mars, he will jump in the rocket and fly there. And some others will be there near you, I'm quite sure.
That's a great question. It might sound funny to a lot of people, but there's been much thought put into, will the first mission to Mars be a one-way ticket? It's very costly to send someone to Mars, but it's even more costly to send them back to Earth. And so maybe we give them all the resources they need to have to sustain themselves on Mars. That's a tough question. I think it depends how much money the program will get.
Yeah, be sure that anytime when government will think about a program to send people on Mars, will think about minimizing the risks and bringing them safe to Earth.
But you will have to do that, Ravi, because we are 7 billion on Earth. So
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, and someone will have to start really thinking of how shall we get out of our cradle, as Tsiolkovsky said.
Ravi, I want to ask you, Sorin is here. I want to ask you, which is the last news from Curiosity you have?
Oh.
It's the evening here, so...
Sure, let's come today.
What's really exciting is that Curiosity has this mast on top of the rover, and it lifted up that mast today, and on that mast is a bunch of cameras. And so what it's going to do next is take a 360-degree picture of where it is on Mars, and it's going to send that back to Earth. And so we're really excited about seeing where the surroundings of the rover, and that will help the scientists plan where they want to go with the rover.
How much will it be moved?
The rover is planned to move several kilometers over its life of about 2 Earth years, 1 Martian year, and we of course hope that it will last much longer than that and travel even further.
Anyway, what happened to Spirited Opportunity? It was much beyond any expectation. Good engineers here on Earth.
Yes, it was supposed to last about 3 months, and they both lasted over 6 years, which is pretty fantastic.
Wonderful.
And that's definitely a tribute to the great engineers.
People clapping hands here and congratulating the engineers.
I'm sorry, I might have missed that question.
No, how many people are working on the program right now?
So over the course of the project, we had over 1,000 people working on this mission. Right now, it's probably down to about a few hundred. Many scientists, many engineers. Probably, I would guess, maybe on the order of 500 people are still on this project.
I want Ravi to have a look, if it is possible, turn around the camera and show the people being here in the meadow of the island. It is a very special program, what we are doing here. It is education for science. We are 480 people with a lot of kids and a lot of very young people. And believe me, the seed of the future is now planted into them. Some of them will fly to Mars in the company of the granddaughter of Charles Bolton Jr.
And they are not only Romanians. There are many foreigners.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice to talk to you all. It's nice to be able to inspire, and I hope that you guys will think of a career in technology or science, because it's definitely very fun and very worthwhile.
They will, and we mix here science and imagination. A lot of science fiction writers are here around, together with young students in technology.
That's very important. Good.
Any question in the... Aveți vreo întrebare? People are yet shy, you know, it's...
Okay, one question.
One question, please.
Uite la camera.
Hi, Ravi. I wanted to ask you, since the previous intervention that you have here, which I would like to thank you for, you don't look like an old scientist at all.
Why?
And I understand you're working already for 5 years for NASA?
2005.
7 years.
7 years, that's right.
So, what was your age when you started working at NASA?
So I was 25 years old when I started working at NASA.
And how? Congratulations! I think it's another round of applause for you. And how did you manage to get there at such a, I would say, young age? What was the trick? Perhaps the young guys here might find a better way to get there, learning your history. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So at NASA, and especially at this NASA center, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, they are very keen on hiring young people because these are the people that definitely work. They have great work ethic. They did well in school. They're very fresh on their education, and by keeping a lot of young people at NASA, that's how you can retain the knowledge. So if you have only older people and they retire, you lose that knowledge. So this JPL in particular really thrives on having young people to retain the knowledge and also to build a new skill set and keep up to date on the latest technologies. As far as you guys, I think that it's very important that you go to college, you get a great education, you work hard in school, and after that apply to the best places you can, and let them know that if they're not if they don't have young people there, let them know the importance of having young people is to be able to retain knowledge and have the freshest knowledge possible.
I think it's not easy to construct a spacecraft to Mars on Earth. It's not more easy to have a permanent base on the moon and construct a spacecraft there and going from, I don't know, a station, from that station to the Mars? Thank you.
Great question. So it depends what you want to send. In our case, because this was even though this was a very large thing we sent to Mars, it was, I would say, medium scale when you compare it to the things we could send to Mars. When we start talking about sending humans to Mars and sending habitats, places for them to live in and to work in, then maybe you start talking about building things in space and sending those to Mars. The limitation on where you want to build it is, can it fit in a rocket? And if we're sending something that can fit in a single rocket, it's often more efficient to send it straight to Mars. But if you want to build houses, then perhaps you send pieces of those to space, and you assemble them in space or on a base like the moon, and then you send it to Mars.
We read something about George Zubrin's plan about sending different spaceships with different equipment there to be put in place. George,
Zubrin definitely has some very good ideas on what to do and how to cut a lot of costs. And so I think, he has a lot of good out-of-the-box thinking, unique thinking that is really useful. So I think that sort of thinking is great.
Good. Anybody else? Altcineva?
Oh, I just want to comment a little bit. I know you're from India, right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, and I read that Monday, the government of India approved a space program for Mars. Is that correct?
It did, yes.
You happy for that? Maybe you just move your office in India.
Oh, don't move from JPL.
But
I'm very excited that the Indian space program is considering or just approved a mission to Mars. And it'd be great to see if they can do that.
Okay. Sorin, if you have something else to tell. If not, we have to thank Ravi.
Just to congratulate you for everything, for curiosity, for the great achievements.
And believe us, we shall carry on spreading word that something extremely important has happened in NASA, and that the humankind will have to follow up and go to Mars.
Thank you. It's nice being able to speak to you guys, and thanks on behalf of the very large team that helped to do this.
I want to ask you to stay with us just a minute. We want to, we have a singer here, and we want to listen to a song, dedicated to you because you join us for 2 evenings. So if you don't mind, just stay with us 2 minutes more.
I would love it. Yes.
You have also sound, and you have a picture from us. Once again, thank you for accepting our invitation. I want to thank you publicly to WGF, World Journalist Foundation, our friends from the United States, David Anderson especially for his contribution, and good luck there. I know you need that.
And 2:30, do not forget, we shall be here.
Cântăm? Hai, repede. So, stay with us. Lăsăm puțin pe ei aici și ne întoarcem după aceea.
I have some fellow engineers joining me to listen to this song.
Oh, good. But keep your eye on the curiosity, please. Don't let curiosity be alone.